Hello again, it's Brian from exceldashboardwidgets.com. I thought I'd put together a quick video reply to Sean, who posted on our forum. He's trying to use the Equalizer widget and doesn't really understand what it's trying to show. He's saying there's no distance between the bars on my widget when compared to the sample. He's got a hash ref exclamation mark in one of the formulas, and he doesn't understand why the formula has a times 13 in it. Is anyone able to help? Yeah, let's see what we can do, Sean. And as always, it's always much easier to do a video rather than try and explain things in written format. So let's take a look at this, shall we? First of all, let me quickly download just the little sample that Sean has uploaded here. My problems too, and very quickly when it comes up, okay, here it is. Very quickly, I can immediately see that a few mistakes. Let's do continue. The first one, Sean, is there's some useful advice. If you go to the unlocked version of the Excel dashboard widgets spreadsheet, if you look on one of the tabs near the end, and actually most of my videos I cover this, how to design a dashboard, and you come to the bit at the bottom. I always like to set up the dashboard with 3 tabs, which one tab that says my dashboard and actually holds the dashboard. The second holds the configuration data, and the third holds the calculations. The reason for that is it sort of separates the logic of the graphics. It separates them from all the calculations and the configuration stuff, and it just especially when you come to making more complex dashboards. And I'm just about to actually upload a very nice example, not this one, human resources, a much nicer example. Maybe I'll upload that in the next couple of days, of a fully functional big dashboard. But anyway, just breaking it up with these 3 tabs just helps keep things simple. And it's easy to get lost when you have a lot of widgets. And each one of those widgets is made up of a lot of objects. So let's quickly go back to this. There's a few things I can see straight away from this, is that some of the fields are still, like I'm clicking, for example, on the first quarter, is still linked to another file. So it's not linked to a configuration tab. And it's a little bit of a mess, but don't panic. Let's go through setting this up. And if you have any other questions, just send another message on the forum, and we'll figure this out. So let's just quickly describe what the widget is. So let's just find the equalizer. Here it is. And I like the dark color scheme. It comes out a little bit. It looks a little bit more like a graphic equalizer in the dark scheme. Basically what this is showing is first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter in a financial year. What was the target, and what was the actual sales volume. But actually, what you need to understand with these widgets is that you can actually set these widgets up to show anything you want. Hopefully through these videos you'll understand the underlying logic, which is basically that these widgets are just basically Excel shapes. If I go over here on the ribbon under Home, go right to the end, find and select this little binoculars. If I click this and I go right down to the Selection Pane, You can see there's a lot of widgets on this particular tab. Here is the light equalizer. That's light in terms of the color scheme. If you go down, there's a dark equalizer widget for this, all the objects that make up this dark widget. So just quickly going through the objects that make up this equalizer widget. I'm clicking on the right hand side. That's the title box. These Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4 are just again just text boxes. You could actually link these to dynamic cells. Let's just go a little bit. We've got the left scale, which is made up of two values going from 0 to 1000. We can change this, of course, at any time. I could do it to 500. Type a box in, type it in on the left. So this now goes from 0 to 500, which is why a lot of these values are now in red. Because actually, if you look across, you'll see a lot of them are more than 500, so they're actually breaking into that threshold. Let's put this back on the range just quickly. 1000. Okay, so that's left scale. The next one is the right scale, which is exactly the same. Text box 1, and which is the bottom one, 0. Text box 2. The next one is the column values. So each of these columns for the target, the actual, for quarter 1, quarter 2. So these values along the bottom. So that's 1, value 2. So each of these is made up of a text box. You know, I could just drag that text box out. It's a standard Excel object. So the values. Then there's the equalizer itself. Now the equalizer is interesting. So the equalizer, you ask the magic question, you know, why 13? The way we've designed this equalizer is that it has 13 lights. I believe green we have 10. There's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 10. There's 2. Let's push F9 a couple of times. It's just pulling in random values when you press F9, by the way. There's 2 orange and there's 1 red. So yeah, so that's where. If I come quickly back to the forum, you're asking. I don't get why the formula has a 13 in it. Basically, we're dividing. Where are we? Come back over here. We're dividing these target and actual values by actually we're dividing the scale in intervals of 13, and then we're finding out how many lights to allocate it. So, but I'll come on to that in a second. So coming to onto the equalizer is broken up column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then each of those columns is split into the. So this is column 1, which is the first one on the left hand side, is split into the green. That's the green segment. That's the little orange segment, and then that's the little red segment. Looks complicated. It is a little bit. Okay, this is the last element, which is the background. It is a little bit, but anyway, let me show you how to set this up. So let's just do a brand new workbook. We've got a file, new, blank workbook, create. Okay, so I'm going to set up 3 tabs. The first one is called My Dashboard. The second one is My Configuration Data. And the third one is My Calculations page. And I always set up these 3 because they do 3 different things. So let's go to the dashboard. Let's come across here. Grab the widget. I normally grab it on one of the borders. I do Control C to copy it. Go to my new book. I'm going to stick it in cell B2. Normally it lines up with the grid lines. Control V to paste. And there it is. There's your widget. I could actually paste it a couple of times if I wanted to. And I could do, maybe this is 2013 on the first widget, 2014 on the second widget. The selection pane is open on the right hand side. You'll see there's two widgets here, so I click the one on the bottom, it's the one on the left. I'm just going to move that up so they're in order. So I could just rename these quickly. This is sales for 2013, and this group, see I've selected it on the right, is sales 2014. Okay. Now the next thing we need to do, so that's our dashboard. I can kind of line this up a little bit, and I can put a nice heading on, and I can add different widgets and all sorts of things. The next thing I'm going to do is copy across the configuration data. So this is the configuration data, this block of text here, which sets up the values and sets up the titles. It's like a mini dashboard in text. So that's Control C, copy that. And I need to copy this across twice because I have two dials. So let's make this a little bit smaller. So that's for the first dial. I'm going to put a box around that. I have no idea why, I just like boxes. There we go, it's the first box. Let's copy it again over here. It's not going to let me. Control C again. Go back to our new book. Just paste this across here. And I'm going to do the same thing. Just paste a little box around that. I messed that up, didn't I? Let's do that again. There we go. Okay. So this first one is what do I call this? Sales 2013. Over here we have sales 2014. 2014. And I can start to I can even start to fill this up with the data that we want. So just make up some data. I could say so this quickly for a title, sales 2014, target versus actual, and this is the title we're going to put on the first block. This is that's already 2014. The first one's 2013. And I'm just going to make up some values here. So this going from 0 to 1,000. I'm going to actually, I'm going to have them sort of gradually increasing. So the first quarter, our target was 100, which did very well. 200. Second quarter, we decided, okay, we'll make the 200 target 200, and ended up with 300. Again, did very well. 300. The third quarter, we decided to push ourselves to 400. We did exceedingly well. We got to 600, and then the last quarter of 2013, we thought we would go for 700, and we ended up with 950. My goodness. Now, if we go over to the dashboard, it isn't showing this data gradually increasing quarter by quarter. Why is this? It's because we're still, if I click on one of these Equalizer widgets, we're still linked to the old unlocked Excel Dashboard Widgets spreadsheet. It's linking to a completely different file. So in a minute we will link to the My Calculations tab, and everything will start to reflect the actual data that we're putting in. Okay, so that's the dashboard, the configuration page. Now we need the calculations page. So let's copy that across from over here. So this is the magic which basically carries out the calculations that that drive this particular widget. It's incredibly simple. Basically what's going on is okay. Let's just look at the first line here, the first quarter target. Our value is 884, which is 12 of the 13 bars. 10, because 10 is the maximum green and 2 yellows. Where's this 12 coming from? It's basically dividing the interval from 0 to 1,000, dividing it by 13 equal intervals, and then seeing where the 884 lies. This calculating how many green is basically saying if there's 12 of these 12 bars, if it's bigger or equal to 10, then there's 10 green. The yellow one is saying if there's more than 10, you need to put two as yellow. And so basically, as we go across, this final blue box on the right, this rept function. Rept's an interesting function. Basically what rept does is it repeats a character for the number of times that you tell it. So in this case I'm using the I, the capital I letter, and I'm repeating it for green 10 times. I'm repeating the capital I letter over here in the yellow, repeating the capital I letter twice. And this basically builds up the equalizer, which I then feed across into the text boxes. Okay, so let's copy this across very quickly. Control C. Where is it? Copy it in here. Needs to go twice because we have the two. Two widgets. Okay, so this was sales 2013. This was sales 2014. Now, if we look at the bottom, step 1, link the yellow cells to your My Configuration page cells. So let's do that right now. Okay. So the minimum value, so we just select the cell just by clicking on it here, look, okay, hit. As you can see, look, this is our problem. It's linked to the old file. It's linked to a completely different file, which is the unlocked Excel Dashboard Widget spreadsheet. We need to link it to the yellow cells on the My Configuration page, which is over here. So, so that's the 0 value. Did I link that? Okay, but it equals and return. I'll do that slowly for you. Okay, this box is selected, the maximum, so this is for the scale. Hit equals, go across to the My Configuration Data tab, go across to the scale max, select the box, and hit enter. Let's do these all of these target values. Here's the first one. So it's going from a target of 100 to, and they actually made 200. It's going from 200 and it actually made 300. It's going from, the target was 400, they actually made 600. The target was 700, and they actually made 950. So there we go. and look, all of the other magic happens automatically. So it automatically calculates based on these values how many green, yellow and red lights need to be illuminated. And look, you can see it's slowly growing up into the last value, 950, where it actually shows the yellow and the red. Okay, step 2, link all of the text boxes in the Equalizer widgets to all this lot. Because if we go back to the dashboard, this first widget is still, all these boxes, all these lights are still linked to that completely different file, the unlocked version of the Excel dashboard widget spreadsheet. So let's link all this lot up quickly. The easiest way to do that is using the Selection Pane, which is on the ribbon across the top. We click Home, go across to Find and Select, the binoculars, down, hit the Selection Pane. This is the Selection Pane. It shows all the shapes on this sheet. This is very, 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 very important because hopefully, Sean, when you get a little bit more advanced, what you can do is you can actually start to take this apart and to copy some of the objects within the widget. I mean, you could set this up, instead of having quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, you could have this as maybe 12 months with 12 groups of lights for every month of the year, or Excel is incredibly flexible with all of these shape objects for creating your own dashboards. Okay, so let's start with the title. I'm just going to click on it on the Selection Pane on the right, come up to the address bar, hit equals, go to My Configuration Data, click on the title over here, press Return, and it gives us this new title. I'm just going to put a couple of spaces in here, a couple of spaces there. Maybe I'm just going to squeeze this across a little bit. So it lines up nicely. Okay, so it says Sales 2013, Target versus Actual. I could go across and quickly do the other one. Let's go 2014, the title. I've now clicked the title of the second widget. Again, go into the address bar, hit equals, and let's give that a value as well. Click Return. It's the same thing. I need to put a couple of spaces to make it go into the new line. Okay. Now let's go back to the 2013 widget. The left scale. Click the 0 value. It's still linked to the old file, so we just equals, link it up to the new file. So the scale's going from 0 to the next one, scale value 2 to equals, go to 1000. And now if we change our scale on the configuration page, if we change it to, we want from 0 to 25, for example, it'll update automatically from 0 to 25. Let's change that back. Okay, the next thing, let's link, okay, that's the scale on the left. Let's quickly do the scale on the right, which is exactly the same. Equals, exactly the same values. Okay, that's the min and the max. I'm working my way down this list of objects on the right in the Selection Pane. So that's the left scale done, right scale down, column values, which are the values across the bottom. Let's do the first one, column value 1. You can see it's 706 for some reason. Let's just link that to the first target value, which was 100. So now it says 100. The next one, which was 2. 200, the next one, 200 as well. And you can see, look along the bottom, the 100, 200, 200, these values are being automatically linked to the values that we've given on the configuration page. Go to the fourth value. What did I do there? I didn't hit equals. Let's quickly put in the fourth value. This one. Value 5. 6, value 7, value 8. Okay, so all of the text values are updated. Now let's update these lights so they reflect the same value. So the first column reflects 100, the second 200, and so on up to 950 against the scale that we've given. So that's the comp column values done. We're onto the equalizer. These are in the wrong order, but let's start with column 8 anyway, because that's let's start with column 1. Okay, column 1. Let's start with green. Again, you can see it's linked to the old one, the old file. So let's come across here to the calculations page, because we're on step 2 now. Link these blue cells. So we're on the first column and we're on the green. So it's this cell here. So that's 2. Let's do the orange. Even though we don't have any orange values over here, we might at some stage change the value on the configuration page, so we need to link this to the dashboard we have open at the moment. As you can see from the top, it's still linked to the old file, so let's just link that now. So those are those values, and we'll quickly link the red. Again, delete this, equals. That's the red. Okay, it's column 1, column 2. Okay, do the green. This video ends up being a little bit too long. I might cut this bit out of the video, but it's the same. It's actually the same. I'm repeating the same step every time. So that's the orange, yellow even. I've called it orange in one place and yellow in another place. But hopefully it's the red. Okay, column 2 done. Column 3. Let's do the green. Let's do the orange. Red. Column 4. Orange. Red. Two, three, four, five. Two, three, four, five. Column 6. Column 7. guess people could always fast forward through the video. Okay, the last one, then everything is done. And I think that will probably be enough for this demonstration. And the red one. So there's one red one. Okay, well there you go. That's our widget linked. You can see this nice incremental increase that I talked about when I was filling up the values. Let's just quickly change the target on Q1. Let's just make this again. Yeah, let's make this 950, and you'll see it automatically updates to reflect the value we've given. Sean, I hope this has been helpful. I hope it helps other people as well understand just the power of what you can do with these widgets. You know, I can show you just very quickly. I mean, you can start to didn't mean to do that. Let's just ungroup these objects. Ungroup first, and now let's just select that background. And you can start to I could have a whole other group of these coming across. Let's just make a whole another. Anyway, I'm doing this all a little bit too quick, but anyway, I think you get the idea of how powerful designing widgets is in Excel. Anyway, that's probably enough for this tutorial. As I've said before, please feel free to ask any questions. This is Brian from Excel Dashboard Widgets. Look forward to hearing from you soon.